Hello, I'm Troy Parker, President of Innovative Labor and Cleaning. This is another Mental Health Monday. Now we're still on our goal series. We're going to continue this out till the end of the year, and maybe we'll do some things into the next year. Hopefully everyone has chosen some goals they would like to set in the different categories of their life. And as I explained before, I look at mine more like a plate that is spinning, and the whole idea to have a balanced life is to make sure we're working on each goal a little bit each day so the plate doesn't become unbalanced. There's a talk I know Matthew McConaughey gave, and he was saying sometimes that his career would be going real good, but then he'd be in a deficit in his relationship side, and he realized that he had to put in a little time with his family or his wife. That's the whole purpose of my whole plate analogy and keeping a balanced life, because sometimes we might go too far in one direction and ignore others, and then we have that disharmony in our life, and then we wonder why, because one thing's going great but then the other's not. And people say, well, it's always like that. One thing will go great and this will go terrible. That is mainly because we're not taking a balanced approach to everything. We don't want to have a whole lot of money and terrible health, or great health and terrible relationships. But also I want to talk to you about when setting your goals in each of these areas. Bob Proctor calls it an A-type goal, a B-type goal, and then a C-type goal. Now he said an A-type goal is something, and he used an analogy of a man who said, okay, I want to get a new car. And when he asked the gentleman, like, okay, well, that's fine if you want to get a new car, but have you ever bought a new car? And the gentleman said, well, yeah, I bought a new car. And he said, well, what kind of car do you want to get? And in this example, the guy wanted to get a Pontiac. And he said, well, had you ever gotten a new Pontiac before? And the gentleman told him, well, yeah, the car I have now is a new Pontiac. So Bob Proctor went on to explain how doing something that you've already done before, it can be a goal, but it's not really stretching you. It can still go on your goal category, but he's talking more about a C-type goal, which we'll get to what the C-type goal is. In the categories on your plate, there could be A-type goals. Say for instance, you say I want to lose 20 pounds. But if you've lost 20 pounds before, you're not really stretching yourself. You kind of know how to do it. You know, you got to, count the calories or watch your calorie intake, do some exercise, that type of thing. Then Bob Proctor goes on and talks about a B-type goal. And that's more of a goal where he gives an analogy where the person said that they wanted to purchase something, but they could kind of figure, like, if they did this, save this, they could kind of see their way how that was going to be accomplished. Well, this too is a goal, and it may be a good goal, and it might go on your plate in one of the categories, and you might work at it, but that's still not really that C-type goal. Now I know you're wondering, well, what the hell is this C-type goal? The C-type goal is that goal, that one thing that you've always wanted to do. It could be start a business, it could be find a mate, something that is totally new to you and you have no idea how you're going to reach it. In other words, there are people who say, okay, I would like to start some type of business, but they don't know where they're going to get the financing, they don't know where to start, and so they just never do anything. That's that C-type goal. And Bob Proctor even goes on to explain it's that goal that really scares you because you don't know, you're totally out of your comfort zone. And in one of these areas, or maybe even all of these areas of your life, you should have, I recommend, that C-type goal. But that C-type goal has to be something you're passionate about. If it's just something that you're like, well, I'd like to do it, there's no passion in it, no real feeling, like, well, if I get it, great. If I don't, who cares? That's not really the C-type goal. So it's something you're passionate about, something that you really don't know how it's going to happen, because that's when you're really stepping out there. And then you're waiting to say, well, what's my first step? And as you take the time to write it down, a lot of people will ask, well, why do we have to write it down? Why do we have to do the little script and the visualization? And I'll get into that more in other videos. When you take the time to write something down, you're more or less claiming it. And it's showing the importance that you took the time to write it down. If you just say, I'm gonna start a business and I'll start looking into it, next week. Next week comes And as many of us know, we never do anything. And we're constantly talking about how we're gonna start that business. Once you take the time to write down what it is you want, even though you might not know how you're gonna reach it, you might just have a name you wanna use or a logo. Then you might say, after that, I don't know what to do next. Then you might Google how to start a business or how to start this particular type of business. Then what you'll see is people and situations will begin to come to you that will give you your next steps of what to do. Neville Goddard calls this a bridge of incidents. And you'll see that, once you say, okay, I gotta incorporate, I gotta get some insurance, the location, next thing you know, you'll be sitting somewhere, could be Starbucks, could be at work, and somebody will say something about, there's this place for rent right down here, and that'd be good for a little bakery. These are the things you need to stay aware of, because when these little suggestions or hints come, these nudges I call them, those are many times our next steps. In writing down your goals, and hopefully everyone is participating and writing down their goals, because we're starting a new year. It's time for a fresh start. And another key thing about goals is, even though we're coming to an end of the year, in life, if you're not growing, as they say, you're dying. So it's a new year, and it's time for new challenges and new goals to be set. So when you're setting your new goals, have your A-type goals, things that you know how to do, but there's still things you want to do, or your B-type goals that you're pretty confident you can get it done, so it's not really a stretch. Then make sure you also have that C-type goal, because the A and the B goal, they'll help you make your life more comfortable, and they will give you confidence. But that C-type goal, that's the goal that will really make you grow. And that's what it's all about, the growth. Whether you reach the goal or not is not important, because you will reach it if you continuously take action each day towards it. When you reach it, don't worry about that. Just set that goal, that thing you're passionate about, start working towards it, and you'll see the growth. Now, you might not see it in February because the year just started. Come April, maybe June, and you look back and you say, wow, back in January, I first started this, all I had was stuff on a paper. Now I have an office or a space lease, or now at least I have all my incorporation and my company all set up. You'll see you're much farther along than you would have been had you not taken the time to write things down and work at them daily. It is still important to write that script out, and you'll see me repeat things in many videos, and some people will say, well, why do you repeat the same thing? Because many times people will watch the video through, like it, and move to the next. But even when you're watching this video, you're only going to pick up certain things. The key to this is putting them into action. The reason people will buy a self-help course in 2005, then they'll buy another self-help course from the same person they bought the first one for them in 2005, they'll do it again in maybe 2008, then they'll do it again in maybe 2011, 2012, and they always intend to do it. And the people who sell these courses know it. Most of the time, 70 to 80% of the people start the course out and never finish. The key here is doing something each day, even if it's a small thing. When it comes to each goal, doing something small each day that'll get you closer to the goal. It's not, as I said in the last video, about getting out there and running a mile the first day and then doing it the second day, and then you're in such pain you stop working out and you don't go back to working out for probably another 6 months. If you haven't jogged or ran a mile in a long time, start out with just running half a lap and then walking the other half, and that's it for the day. Then the next day, do it again. Do that maybe for 30 days. Then after 30 days, run a whole lap or whatever it is. But the key is do something for each one of your goals each day. And the script that I was about to say is a key part of that. We are what we think. No matter what you may believe, if you look back over your life and look at the things that are happening to you now, and then look at the thoughts that you have about them, you will see the thoughts that you have are a reflection of what you see out in the world. If you have problems with your mate, a coworker, you will see you're thinking about those individuals as many times negative, judgmental, and you have these little mental arguments or little tiffers with these people all the time. You'll drive to work thinking about, I'm gonna tell her this, or when he says this, I'm gonna say this, or whatever. And then when it happens, you know what you'll say? I knew that was gonna happen. And that's right, because you created it before you got there. The script or the little movie that I talk about playing in your mind is seeing yourself after the end. So after your business is started, after you get the promotion, what is something that would definitely happen to show that this has happened? Like if you got the promotion, you'd see someone coming up congratulating you, walking into your new office saying congratulations Bob, Harry, Mary, Jane, whatever, for your new promotion. If you have a new business, you see your family coming and saying this restaurant or this bakery is great, the food is great, and they're in your restaurant, and you picture what your restaurant would be. It doesn't have to be long. I hope these videos help, and if you have any suggestions or questions, please leave comments. And as always, remember, it's up to you to make your life matter.